Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of 1000 Lies. So, before we jump in, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because that would mean the whole world to me. And after this video, if you like it, hit that like button too. Alright, let's get into this. Sneering as only she can, she goes to grab me a towel and throws it in my direction afterward. Use this! I'll go inside to get another towel. Lucy says goodbye, still laughing about discovering another weakness that she can use against me from now on. The sound of the sliding door closing leaves me alone in the garden, sitting near the edge of the pool. And earlier they told me that there was only one towel. I observed the pool, silently thinking about what had just happened. Now that I think about it, that was the first time she ever used my name. Oh, I didn't realize that we were that close to, finishing up that segment. Leaving already? I've lent you some clothes, so you shouldn't have to worry about getting a cold, but if you insist. Yeah, it's late. I want to take a shower, and I may not be tired yet, but I know I'll end up exhausted from this long day. In any case, I want to thank you for everything. It was a great birthday, and I really had fun. The boy-girl ratio will be even more in my favor if you leave, so I can't complain, but... Are you sure that nothing bad happened? On the contrary, Aussie. Then? It's because everything went so well. I observed the house from the outside, looking at the lit-up windows, trying to catch some sort of movement from the distance. I sigh, decide to forget about it, and walk along the walls of Aussie's house on my way home. But as I turn around the corner, I find someone waiting for me. As usual, this was something only she could predict, surprising me again. Leaving without me, Ciar? The uphill walk through the narrow streets of our old town is filled with silence. The road languishes under the bronze streetlights, no noise except that from our own footsteps, creating a uniquely peaceful, yet disturbingly calm atmosphere. The norm up until now was for me to listen to Claire talk non-stop about whatever would come to her mind in that instant. But now she's completely quiet, a behavior that she has been appropriating since my birthday party first started. I already knew that in front of other people, she would act shy and vulnerable, but that has always ended as soon as we're alone together. In its place, she makes fleeting eye contact, then immediately hides under her hat. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with my face? No, it's not like that, I'm just very happy. Did something happen while I wasn't looking? I thought you were having a hard time because of your, social shyness. Honestly, I'm not the kind of girl who enjoys spending her time with other people. Your friends are great and they're fun, but I have to admit that I was starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. Even Deniz? I thought you already knew him from before. He's an exception. We were friends a long time ago, and we'd always meet in a certain place, but one day something happened and we never met again. Our friendship grew distant over time, and although we get along, there's a wall between us that neither of us has any intention of tearing down. You make it sound as if something terrible happened. I wonder if that's actually it. Claire makes it clear with her nostalgic tone, and by lowering her head, that she'd prefer not to keep talking about this topic. In its place, I change the topic to what I hope will bring back out the Claire I know. That doesn't explain why you're so happy today, though. What actually happened? You happened, Ciar. I'm happy that I was able to attend your birthday party and for being able to walk by your side. Any vestige of sadness evaporates from her face as she clings to one of my arms with a tight grip. Claire's feelings are still strange to me, even though I have all the knowledge of them I need, so her displays of affection still take me by surprise every time. I'm myself when I'm with you. I'm not the kind of person who would hug anyone for no reason, much less be this comfortable around another person. But if it's you, then I don't mind. There's nothing holding me back. I stop walking on the middle of the hill and stand still. Claire then lets go of my arm and looks at me with uncertainty. I've already noticed what's happening. I've been trying to ignore her extremely abnormal behavior, but it's only managed to make me even more suspicious since, after all, Claire's still kind of a stranger to me. If you had nothing to hide, then there was no reason for you to make it so hard for us to meet. Every time I think I've gotten to know you better, you manage to do something that I can't understand. Why does Lucy's neighbor have the package I was waiting for example? Was that also part of your doing? That was an accident. An accident? What the hell are you talking about? Look, Claire, I understand that you want to stay with me, know me and all of that. I feel honored by that, but I need the full truth. Alright, I didn't want it to come to this ahead of time, but I guess I could say it today with certainty. She bows her head, closes her eyes, and inhales deeply. I turn around and wait for her, shivers going down my spine for every second that I wait. She opens her eyes, looks at me tenderly, and... A car drives past our side of the sidewalk at full speed, instinctively forcing us to take cover because of the noise. What a psycho! He almost drove over the sidewalk. Are you okay? Claire nods in response. Let's go to the other side. It's a bit wider, so it'll be safer. Claire doesn't really look convinced, but she accepts it, following me while I cross the road. Halfway there, she takes my hand and forces me to stop walking. I love you, Ciar. I try to turn around, but she grabs my shirt as tightly as she can, and buries her face in my back. Succumbing to embarrassment, she keeps telling me that she loves me, clearing any doubts I had as she continues yelling it into my back. I've loved you since the first moment I saw you. At first I wasn't sure about it, or I didn't want to be, but I have no more doubts. Today I can say it fearlessly. I want to stay with you forever, Ciar. You make me feel special, and for that reason, I can't let you leave me, no matter what the cost is. She pulls on my shirt, shaking as if she fears that I'll disappear at any second. Claire, no. Don't say anything! Her small arms intertwine beneath my chest, squeezing on me with all of her strength. She's making it hard for me to breathe, but that doesn't matter. I've told you 1,000,000 times, right? After all, to me the most important thing is for you to be truthful, but there are some truths that hurt more than others. I look at her and carefully hold her tiny hands, managing to dislodge them off of me little by little until I can turn around. Claire is hiding under her hat again, so to make eye contact I kneel down, embracing her hands with mine. What can I do for you, Claire? What did I do to make you fall in love with me? I don't know what I could have done for this to happen. There are things in this world that we know without facts or reason. We can only hope that they continue to be real for the rest of our lives. But I'm certain that in this case, not even time can tear my feelings away from me. I stand up, a guilty feeling suddenly welling up in my throat. Claire hugs me once more, this time from the front, resting her head against my chest and listening to my quickened heartbeat. Neither of us say anything for at least 2 minutes. I remain deaf even to the chatter of a couple of pedestrians that pass us. It's the shine and softness of her hair interlaced between my fingers that grabs my attention like a treasure that I can't leave behind. The warmth of her clear skin, even just touching it through her clothes, makes my sense of touch react, struggling to understand the texture of her fragile figure. Seconds later, I feel her struggling to push away. I react surprisedly and let her go, even though I don't really want to break the contact. Let's make a deal, Ciar. Claire takes a deep breath, gathering the courage she needs to speak. Her voice is sweet, gentle and sweet, but somehow also solemn. I've told you how I feel, but now I want to know how you feel about me. And I'd like to know your answer before we part ways on graduation day. On that day, I want to hear your answer. I want to know the truth. I won't be satisfied if you aren't sure by then. I've told you many times that I don't like half-baked answers. Whatever it is, I want it to be real. I simply nod, confused. The presence she transmits, inconceivable for her height, doesn't allow me to give any other response. I'm glad that you understand. Claire sighs in relief, lifting a weight off my shoulders. She reaches towards my hand, holding it affectionately and blushing. Meanwhile, we decide to start heading home. I don't remember when we left the narrow streets of our town, nor the time it took us to return to our houses, considering that time itself had disappeared for the rest of the night as we walked side by side holding hands. I never did get the answers that I was searching for, and Claire's still a stranger to me in a lot of ways, but neither of those is an excuse for me to ignore the unconventional love story that's developing right before my eyes any longer. The inevitable conclusion even has a preset date. This time, I'll have to write an ending. Whew. That was heavy, at least for me. Oh, chapter 4. Yay! We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Why did you leave the other day, Indian? We were at the best part. It might have been late, but it was your party. You could have at least said goodbye or something instead of making Aussie do it for you. Why did you do it? Okay, let's make one thing clear. What would you say if the girl had horns, like a bull? Getting poked could definitely be an issue for sure, but it'd be worth it for a girl who's always horny. Oh my god. What in the name of God are you guys talking about? Stop ignoring me! We're still going on with the Ideal Girl Challenge we started the other day. Today's the Monster Girls edition. Want to join in? No, I'm trying to talk about something important here, and you guys are ignoring me and discussing nonsense. It's not nonsense, Ziva. Monster girls need love too, and I'm not about to be the one to deny it to them. Just what I needed. You're siding with him, Aussie. Aren't you angry that he just up and left after using your house for his party? Listen here. Lamia? You know, the ones that are half girl, half snake? What do you say about them? It's the same thing as with mermaids, so I don't even care which half we're talking about. The Lamia would be the same, but without the water issue. Hello? He thanked me, Ziva. What else do I need? You could at least pretend that you care about what I say. An apology, an explanation, an excuse? Give me something! After all the effort we put in! You left without a word and act as if it's normal. You're talking about girls that don't even exist. A harpy, but keep in mind that just like full birds, she'd still have a really short memory. I was talking to you, Indian. Look at my face when I'm speaking to you. Agitated, Ziva hits my desk and gets up in my face so closely that she's all I can see. Tired of her complaints, I breathe in deeply and wait for her to go away. Sorry, I wasn't pretending to sound angry. I'll tell you the truth if that's what you want. I left. The end. It's as simple as that. It wasn't anyone else's fault. It was late and I felt like going home. Now, can we get back to the harpies? It was quite an important question. And my answer is, of course, she could take me and fly around. And with her short memory, everything would feel as if it were the first time. That's an advantage in a certain way. I seriously don't understand you guys. Don't think for a second that I'm gonna give up just like that. On the contrary, you've given me another reason to worry about you as my patient. Are we going back to the patient thing? I thought we were finally done with that. You read my notebook the other day. I don't get why you keep going. Next, Aussie, what about a centaur? Or a centaur? What do you say? She's more horse than woman. Come on, Campanero. The writing joke is too easy even for me. You only had a couple of chapters of a story about a wolf in there. It was a disappointment. So you finally admit that you read it even though you denied it earlier? Yeah, well, I read a bit. So what? It was an awful story and I hated it. Hey Ziva, I haven't read it, but could you try to make your critique a little more constructive? If he was embarrassed to show us, it was for a reason. Don't worry, Aussie, it's fine. I understand that not everyone will like that kind of story. In my defense, though, it isn't even finished yet. But what would you say about a slime? A girl with most of her body composed of a jelly-like substance. I don't know if you've heard of them before. So, she's delicious in every sense of the word. Seriously, Ciar, you have to make this harder. In fact, Jello is one of my favorite desserts, especially if I'm having a bad day. I know a pretty good place to buy jelly desserts in town, too. What do you say, Ziva? Would you like to come with me? I'll let you vent your sorrows to me since you seem to be a bit angry about this. I'm sorry, Aussie, but today is impossible. Thanks for the offer, though. Come on, Ziva, you're better than that. First, you complain about how plain my goodbyes are, and then you turn down Aussie without even coming up with a good enough excuse? I can't, okay? I'm already meeting someone. You don't care anyway. You don't care about anything at all, right? You guys can keep it up with your girl thing. I'm going to get ready for the next class. Ziva's acting pretty weirdly, isn't she? She's in quite the rush. I don't think I've ever seen her like this before. She's usually cheerful and never gets angry with you. Aussie's right. Ziva's acting differently today, and watching how she leaves, I can't help but wonder the same thing as my classmate. Who's she going to meet up with? For some reason, it's weird for me to think about her as someone who goes out with others, even though I know how popular she is with everyone. People fall in love with her wherever she goes. She's probably asked out almost every day. Then why haven't I ever thought about her in that way before? I have an idea, that could clear up our doubts. A fawn girl. She has goat legs and plays the flute. I'm sure you won't accept that. One question, does she have a goatee? What? No? Well, I don't really know. Does it matter? It's important if she has a goatee, or if she has a goatee, then yes. If she doesn't? Still yes. Why do you even ask anyway? Listen, Ciar. What do you say we go out for a while? We're always locked up in here. It'd be nice for a change. Lucy drops the idea on me as she crumples up a piece of paper and throws it on top of a pile of scraps in the garbage. I know that I'm usually the one, proposing breaks every day, but some fresh air could help for once. Yeah, okay. Sorry. For a second I thought it said postponing when I looked back at it, but no, I did it right. It'll inspire us, give us new ideas, and those kinds of things. She lists her reasons, speaking louder and louder as if being as loud as possible will guarantee success. Then it's decided. Get ready because we're going out. I haven't said anything yet. I don't know where we're going, but Lucy is so happy today that I don't dare ask. After how Ziva was acting this morning, I thought it'd be pretty much the same with the other girls, especially after what happened between Lucy and me in the pool. That couldn't be farther from reality. It hasn't even been brought up. It's as if it never actually happened. Maybe Ziva was overreacting earlier? I'm not that interested and I won't get anything from knowing anyways, so I choose to remain silent. Careful there! Get down! Lucy grabs me by the neck and forces me behind a parked car. I'm hesitant to try and figure out what's going on, but I stay silent, and Lucy points to the sidewalk on the other side of the road. Fairly close to us, I can see Ziva and Deniz casually talking with the naturality you'd expect from two good friends, or, to be more precise, a couple of lovers. I already knew about their friendship from before the committee's meetings, but seeing them together right now leaves me speechless and paralyzed. I can't at all react to what's going on in front of my eyes. No way! Those two are together! Do you think they're on a date? Ziva never told me about this. What's wrong? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't tell me you're jealous. Why would I be? Don't make things up. I'm just shocked, aren't you? Not really. I'm more surprised about the fact that this didn't happen sooner. A while ago, when Ziva still went to my school, the two of them would always be together, and from what I've heard, they were good friends even before I transferred in. The weird part is that they weren't dating, and it didn't really look like they were up to it either. Really odd if you ask me, considering all the years that they've spent together. When I first met you, and after watching how well you get along with Ziva, I started to think she was in love with you. That would have explained it. Ziva in love with me? Are you kidding? Look, Ciar, Ziva's so beautiful. What I don't get is how you don't love her. How can you explain that someone of her attractiveness talks to you and puts up with all of your jokes? Don't you think she has too much patience with you? You also put up with me too, so I could ask you the same thing. But I don't know how to keep you in check, you dumbass. Instead, Ziva just goes along with it, something that she doesn't do with anyone but you. I've seen you call her every name in the book, and even after all of that, she stays by your side and smiles. Don't tell me that you haven't noticed. I try to refute her claim, but instead gulp loudly, unable to answer. What would you know about a woman's heart anyway? I doubt you even know how a relationship works. That's not true. I had a relationship. Once. Fictional characters don't count. I'm serious. We didn't get too far, but it did happen, I guess. You know that anime figures don't count as real living humans, right? Don't look at me like that. I swear it's true. It's not like I can really talk about them when I have only had one at this age, and and everyone else has already been in a few, but not so fast. Who said I've ever had anything with anyone? Are you serious? None? Yes, is that a problem? No, not at all. It's just that you seemed so certain earlier that it caught me off guard. You okay? Don't talk to me like I'm sick. It's not something that I'm embarrassed about, you know. I'm not the kind of girl who would go out with the first funny guy that crosses her path. It's just so weird to see something like that happening. You've probably kissed a guy or two before, though. Don't lie to me. Lucy looks at me and tilts her head sideways for a moment, then dismissively shakes her head. She protects her convictions with pride, but probably because of the private nature of our conversation. Her cheeks turn red and she tries to distract me before I could continue asking any more questions. Hey, they're leaving! Let's follow them! Wouldn't it be best to greet them and ask them what they're up to? No way! We have to catch them red-handed. If after so many years they've said nothing, then they won't suddenly admit it. Don't give up. Or do I have to remind you that you stalked me a while ago? I knew you'd use that against me. Keeping our distance, we follow our targets all the way to the shopping mall. It seems that Delta and Zulu are heading underground. I repeat, Delta and Zulu are heading underground. Over. Roger that. The stairway to go underground is narrow, so we can't go together for this mission. Bravo. Deploy and make an inspection of the field first. Over. Roger. Deploying. Wait a second, who's Bravo? You're Bravo. Me? What if I'm caught? You'll be remembered as the brave hero you were. That explains Bravo. Makes sense. No! Don't worry, Bravo, I'll cover you. Finally, at least someone's going to hit. What are you doing here? I've been following you as always. I'm really worried about that as always part, but this isn't the best time to talk about it. Exactly, we may lose the targets if we don't pay close attention to them. Let's hurry up! And of course, the last idiot is here too. Why didn't anyone tell me that the stupid parade's today, huh? I've been really worried about Ziva since this morning, so I've been following her. To think that Deniz was responsible. Tell me something, Campanero. How many years is a murder sentence? The only person you'll kill at this rate is me. Can we leave the chit-chat for later? We're losing them! We raise our heads in unison like a mob of meerkats. Unable to see either Charlie or Alpha, we all come out of our hiding place at the same time and make our way down to the lower level using the escalators. The atmosphere gets stuffier and our visibility decreases to only the neon lights of the arcade. The memories of this place as a child had it pegged as a paradise, a place where I could spend hours wasting money on racing and fighting games. Now, however, there are pool tables and TVs with soccer matches on them that take up the most space. Only a few survivors from my time will remain here. Most of them with signs stating that they're out of order. No one ever actually planning on reviving them. Nostalgia hits me when I realize that the world still evolves even when I look away. But aren't I also partially guilty for forgetting about this place too? I can see them! They walked past the bar counter! Following Claire's lead, we approach the counter located near the end of the room. It's used as both a lounge bar as well as a customer service desk in case any of the arcade machines start malfunctioning. Our targets went past that area and are now hiding somewhere in the darkness, behind some of the arcade machines in an even deeper corner of the arcade. Worrying about making a false move, we all stand near the counter as if we're interested in checking out the selection of drinks, while trying to covertly watch our targets. It's during this time that, from what we thought was an unoccupied counter, up pops the familiar-looking man as he cleans a glass with a white cloth. A muscular build, not a single hair on his head. Want something to drink? It's the bald officer! Oh wait, it's the bald officer. Aren't you supposed to be fining people? His serious expression, together with his impressive build, makes us recognize him instantly. It's the same officer that stopped us when we borrowed Lucy's father's car to bring justice. He's wearing a really tight white shirt with a black bow tie, the kind you'd expect from a bartender in a movie. Hey boss, do you have a twin brother that works in law enforcement by any chance? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a very busy man, so if you wouldn't mind, what can I get you? He might have gotten a new job. Don't you remember this guy, sir? You know he was driving the other day. I said, what can I get for you? I think I could see the glass he's holding start to crack while his deep voice drills deep into our bones, waking up even the most basic survival instincts in us. Let's just say that I'm scared shitless, but I can't help but try to meet his expectations by sitting at the counter and trying not to look like I'm following anyone. I'm too scared of what he'd do. I'll take a whiskey on the rocks. Don't be shy, okay? Since when have you drank alcohol on an empty stomach, Campanero? Shut up! I'm trying to save your asses and save face. You don't want to attract any more attention to us, do you? If we make ourselves look like tough guys, then he won't want to keep serving us or meddle in our business. This way, we might be able to keep our targets under control, do you understand? I exchange looks with Aussie, who nods, acknowledging my words. He takes a seat next to me, resting his elbow on the counter with strong conviction, making the request and seeming full of him, or making his request and seeming full of himself. Bring me a gin and tonic. But no gin, and don't be shy with it. That's just the tonic then. Appearances, Ciar. Appearances. You didn't understand anything. And you, miss? What? Me? Why me? The bartender suddenly stops cleaning, then puts his washcloth on his shoulder and carries the glass closer to the sink that we can't see under the counter. Ooh, silence accompanies the sound of the glass splitting into a million pieces. Yes, of course then. Water is fine. Carbonated water, or whatever you want. Just please don't kill me. The bartender is able to spread terror amongst us just by smiling and nodding, especially once we notice the next victim in line being overshadowed by him. The short girl, nothing compared to such a humongous monster, nervously shakes from the great expectation put on her request at the moment. I'll have I want pineapple juice. We all astonishedly looked at Claire for ordering something that no one would ask for in a place like this. Wasn't the game supposed to be asking for healthier stuff than the previous order? It may have been because of the pressure at the moment, but I can't help but giggle at the absurdity of what Claire had said, attracting the attention of the people around me, including the bartender. Good thing that our friend here, the Man of Steel, decides to serve my drink with such strength that I swear I saw the whiskey jump up a few feet, causing me to forget about giggling as I see my life flash before my eyes. Ciar? Not now. I'm in a life or death situation and we're supposed to be going incognito. The idea is to not attract any attention. Someone taps on my shoulder as they say my name. And of course, knowing my luck, it could only be Deniz and Ziva, both of them glaring at us with raised eyebrows. Incognito? Don't tell me that you've been following us, Indian. No, nothing like that, Ziva. Who do you think we are? We were playing, of course. We came here to play video games at the arcade together. What else could it be? Are you serious? That's great! Ziva, it's obvious that they're lying. They got us. We exchange looks and sighs as if we're admitting that we can only give up. For some reason, the idea of the four of us gathering is so ridiculous that we didn't even try to defend it. We already knew that Ziva was the core of their group, the leader, and without her, none of us would ever take the initiative. She, however, didn't seem to think that way, her face showing genuine sadness as we tell her the truth, sadness that she tries to hide under her always smiling facade. Did you think that I was on a date with Diz? No way! The two of us met up to organize a couple of things for graduation. We aren't the main representatives from each school for nothing, and we didn't want to bother you guys with every little problem that may arise. To be precise, she was feeding me all of her stupid plans that, well, you guys will see them with your own eyes. Why did you come all the way out here instead of meeting at the school like usual? I get depressed if I spend too much time in the classroom, you know. It's not a bad idea to have fun while we talk about other things. This way is also easier to make it look like I'm listening when I'm distracted. You know how much Ziva rants, right? It's better than watching you fall asleep while I talk. At least here I can keep you awake. Let's forget about that stuff for now. Why don't all of us play together since we're here? Without even an ounce of irritation or disgust. On the contrary, keeping the usual coolness and keenness that characterizes her, Ziva proposes an offer that we can't refuse. You really don't mind what we did, Ziva? You aren't even a little bit annoyed that we doubted you? Your spirit differentiates you from everyone else. It makes you a unique and priceless treasure that only few can enjoy for nothing. I'm sorry, Ziva. I can't help but hate that part of you. Ahem. Sorry, but can someone please pay up? The rough voice of the bartender causes all of us to shiver, one that makes us scared for our lives. Taking the bull by the horns, I turn around and face him as he stands behind the counter. I look into his eyes while I pick up my glass of whiskey. Don't worry, boss, I have everything under control. Aussie, pay the bill. What? Why me? It's been a pleasure knowing you, buddy. I'll take the others somewhere safe. I trust you. The sound of liquid pouring catches the attention of the sacrifice, Aussie, and I. I turn my eyes, only to discover that Claire is suddenly pouring her apple juice in with my whiskey. Don't be so cheeky. Pay your tab, Ciar. What are you doing? I was joking. I'll pay. It's not just the pineapple juice, the carbonated water, tonic, and even some snacks that came from who knows where. Claire pours all of them into my glass while my friends laugh. While they laugh, I watch as the color of my drink darkens, losing its previous magnificent golden color, now filled with bubbles and some other weird foodstuffs dissolving into my whiskey gumbo. I begrudgingly pull out my wallet and place it on the counter next to my undrinkable whiskey. Are you leaving it there? What a waste of food. What do you want me to do? I'm not going to drink that. That'd be a great idea. Do it as an apology for leaving abruptly from our own birthday party, or from your own birthday party the other day. You didn't even care earlier. Yes, as an apology for stalking Ziva without her permission too. You think you can talk? It wasn't my idea in the first place. I'm in favor of that idea. Ziva definitely deserves an apology for how you usually treat her anyway. You just want to see me suffering. Don't look at me. You can do whatever you want, Indian. I might have complained a little this morning, but it was just our usual back and forth. I didn't really mind. Ziva takes a step back and shows her hands with an expression that automatically acquits her of any charges. And that also makes me feel pretty guilty. I pensively look at the thick, orange, fizzy liquid that's closer to a witch's potion than anything else. Now I'll have to swallow that thing because of stupid damn peer pressure. I choose not to think about it any longer and inhale it with a single gulp, leaving my fate entirely up to destiny. Hey, it's kinda good. Well, I mean, at least he enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad. It's easy. You need a good sense of rhythm more than reflex. Sense of rhythm? I couldn't even see the arrows moving. Crap. And again this time. Deniz and Lucy are competing in a music game where they have to tap some arrows accordingly to the melody. But competing probably isn't the most accurate word for it. Even playing on the maximum difficulty, Deniz never misses an arrow. The old days of DDR. Now do you believe me when I say that he won't listen to me unless I bring him here? All the high scores on this game are probably his. You aren't bad either, Ziva, considering that I'm just letting you guys win, of course. In fact, for being Lucy's first time, I think she's doing pretty well. It's just that Deniz is on another level. I mean, he's covering his yawns and he still doesn't miss anything, like seriously? I can't believe it, I lost! Oh well, who's up next? I'd say one of those two, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to do anything. Listen, Claire, try to remember. Think about what you did step by step. I've already told you, I don't remember, Ciar! It's important, there's money on the line. What exactly did you put in my drink? I've already told you, you that I used everything I had at hand. I wasn't paying attention at all, and I'm pretty sure that there was more than the snacks you saw. We're talking about the best drink ever made, Claire. I'm suffering withdrawals here, and I need a dose. He's been like that ever since he drank his whiskey gumbo. At least now he's admitting his dependence. I'll try to convince him. Leave it to me. Hey, you, junkie, your turn. Not now, Lucy. I have some important business here. Don't tell me that you're scared to lose after all the beatings you've gotten in all the games we've played up until now. I'm not a little kid. Taunting me won't get you anywhere. Look, we've been playing for a while now, and I've spent too much money already, considering that the student life doesn't really let you indulge. But if Claire manages to remember what she put in my glass, then money will stop being a problem. Don't you see that we can get rich with that recipe? I'm such a genius! If money is such a problem, then let's only play one last game, so I can make up for losing that round against Inez. If that's your issue, you can play with anyone else, right? Yeah, but it's easier and funnier for me to beat you instead. You're so kind. Be careful who you're underestimating. I challenge you to any game you want, the one you're best at. Let's see who's underestimating who. I ponder Lucy's proposal for half a second, moving my eyes to one of the arcade machines behind her. What are you looking at? Want to play that game over there? The game Lucy's talking about has 2 large screens and 4 plastic toy guns in front of it. The numerous explosions and gunshots together with the insert coin screen makes it pretty clear what kind of game it is, and based on Lucy's expression, it's the game she'd like to play. It looks fun. It's decided then. Let's go play! I haven't decided anything, but whatever. It requires 4 players though. Do you guys want to join us, Ziva and Diz? Are you sure? I must warn you that I'm pretty good at this one. Even more reason for you to join. That way the 3 of us can ally against Ciar and guarantee victory. Right, Diz? Aren't we playing against each other? It's us 4 against NPCs. What we do is fight to see who gets the biggest score. It depends on how many enemies we kill and stuff. Seriously? What a letdown. It'd be better if it was against each other. Who cares? I'll win, even if it's a bigger score or whatever. Joining or not. I'm good, but the one you challenged was Ciar, so you should ask him. All eyes are on me, waiting for my permission, as if I hold some kind of authority. I scratch the back of my neck before clicking my tongue and unwillingly giving them an answer. Do I have a choice anyway? Let's get this game going already. I'm warning you now that I'm aiming for a perfect score here, so I won't make this easy for you. Deniz and Ziva smile while listening to my declaration, and they pick up the 2 guns on the left side. Lucy, however, doesn't seem to understand what exactly I was talking about, but she's happy to see that we're all ready and picks up her gun after Ziva does. I then do the same and pick up the very last gun on the right side. Besides the guns, there's a pedal for each player to step on. They need to step on it to shoot and release it to take cover and reload. While I make sure that everything's in order, someone grabs my shirt and forces me to bow my head down. Good luck, Ciar! Think you could do it? Of course, why not? Do you think I could lose? Claire shakes her head, then closes her eyes and smiles. No, I'll be rooting for you, okay? Claire's voice is sweet and delicate. She speaks to me and only me, with that soft tone so that no one else can hear us. At least my support is better than that of my competition. Ziva is explaining how the game works to Lucy when a pair of arms wrap around them and hug them at their shoulders. I'll be rooting for you, ladies. If either of you win, then I'll give you a kiss. And for the loser, they'll get a consolation kiss. What do you think? I suddenly wish that these guns were real. Don't you think so too, Lucy? Amen to that. Then I'll just cheer for you two. I'll leave the offer open in case either of you changes your mind, okay? Each of us takes a coin and put them into our respective coin slots. The game menu opens, waiting for all 4 of us to join, and then opens the game screen as soon as we shoot towards the middle of each of our screens. So Ciar and I have to look at the rightmost screen and Diz and Ziva to the leftmost one, correct? Then that means that we can look at each other's characters on their screens. Shouldn't I be able to shoot you guys then? I thought this game was cooperative. Technically, yes, we can shoot each other, but you can't actually kill anyone's character. Instead, it'll reduce your score for every time that you hit them. That's so lame. Anyways, I'm ready, so prepare to be humiliated. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So, if you liked it, hit that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much and I will see you next time.